Jennifer, maybe first we can start with tell us a little bit about yourself and what drives you as a physician scientist.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity to chat today. So basically, the way I came to medical genetics was a little bit of a circuitous route, actually. So I started medical school thinking I wanted to do maternal fetal medicine. I really loved OBGYN. I loved working with families, with patients and their children, and kind of that stage of life. And when I was in medical school, I actually took a year off to do a Sarnoff Cardiovascular Research Foundation Fellowship program, which was a year of basic science research in a lab at University of Pennsylvania and Dr. Epstein's lab there. And that's actually where I sort of fell in love with developmental biology, embryology, and how research could actually be a really big part of my medical career going forward. And so it was actually during that year that I discovered sort of genetics and epigenetics and fell in love with that whole field essentially, and decided to figure out a way to incorporate a research career in genetics with a clinical career. And I was very fortunate to be training at Mount Sinai for medical school, where they had a very strong medical genetics program. And so I was able to start working with the geneticists there when I got back to medical school to finish my fourth year, and also did some rotations at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. So I went back to Philadelphia, where I had been working in the lab, and went across the street to CHOP to do some rotations in medical genetics. And that's where I really fell in love with the clinical aspect of medical genetics as well, and realized that I could have this research and clinical career all in the realm of genetics and still be working with families, which was a big part of why I had originally fallen in love with OBGYN. And so fast forward some years through residency, where I did pediatrics and medical genetics residencies at CHOP. So I did that for 4 years, and then came to Duke as a junior faculty in 2019. And at that point, I really wanted to meld the two interests that I had, which were in maternal fetal medicine and medical genetics. I never really stopped loving maternal fetal medicine. And the way that I was able to meld those two was to become involved with University of California, San Francisco's phase 1 clinical trial that they were just about to launch and getting ready to launch, but didn't have a geneticist on their team. And so that clinical trial was to conduct in utero enzyme replacement therapy for 8 different lysosomal storage diseases. And as you know, Duke is a center of excellence for lysosomal storage diseases. And so the connection between, Duke and then joining with UCSF and their long history with fetal surgery and, advanced therapeutics in that realm was really a wonderful, fit. And so that's how I became involved in that clinical trial. And that's really been my passion for the last 3 years now, and has really been driving me every day. And that's been my passion, and just a really nice way to merge all of my interests together to help families and advance this research.
It's really incredible, Jennifer. You don't let anybody say no to you. You've pushed forward with keeping what you're most passionate about. And I think this concept of not only using genetics to identify monogenic diseases, but as we think about therapeutics, lots of great work that's been done in this domain for lysosomal storage diseases here at Duke. But you took it to a whole nother level in really doing in utero therapeutics. So it's an incredible advancement, not only in lysosomal storage diseases, but even kind of opening up the window for treatment of other monogenic diseases. So really, really incredible.